Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Tim from Think.Digital, and you've come along to the next webinar in the online marketing webinar series. So it's pretty exciting, this topic. This one's about search engine optimization. So it's about diving in deep into Google and trying to make your business, your club, your society, it's just basically making Google work harder for you. So we've got about a 45-minute whirlwind tour with lots of examples, some great low-hanging fruit, things that you can do this afternoon or tomorrow to improve your Google performance. So we've got people joining us from right across Australia. Welcome those in rural, remote, and even regional Australia. So I'm going to share my screen now. We'll get into the topic and we'll dive deep into SEO. Here we go. Okay, Search Engine Optimization 101. So who am I? Well, I'm a digital crusader. In fact, I consider myself a digital strategist. I'm an educator. I love the digital world, but I'm also an entrepreneur. I've spent a bit of time growing my own business and selling it. But one of the big things that I've done is that I truly believe I'm a regional, rural, and remote advocate. So I really enjoy helping people out in regional Australia to grow their business online. Okay, so we're in part of the Online Marketing 101 series, and today we're talking about search engine optimization. We're going to be working our way through all of these topics. So the next one will be on social media. Now, what are today's learning objectives? Well, I really want to unravel how Google works. It's really important to understand the beast so then we can go out and hunt it in one respect. But I want to generate more leads for your business or your organization. So a lead is getting in email inquiries or getting phone to ring or getting people to walk through the door. But I certainly want to give you some DIY skills. I'm always a big fan of showing people how to lift the hood and change the spark plugs. I want you to be able to measure success. So you're going to put some time and effort into your SEO, search engine optimization. How do you actually know if it works? And at the end, we're going to be developing a learning plan or an action plan. Okay, the topics. I'm going to talk about what is SEO, and then I'm going to talk about goal setting. Both of those very important. From there, we'll understand how search engines work, and then we'll do what's called keyword research. From there, we'll learn some SEO techniques, and I'll talk about these things called on-page, off-page, and social. And then we'll talk about Google Maps and Places, and then we'll end with AdWords. Actually, I've flipped them around. So we'll go with AdWords first, and then we'll end with Google Maps and Places. Alrighty, are your sleeves rolled up? Make sure you grab a piece of paper and a pen or your iPad or your tablet or start typing away. But we're really going to dig into the theory now. So what is SEO? Well, search engine optimization to me is quite simply the art of getting found in search engines when a new or existing customer is searching for your products or services online. Okay? So now that we know what search engine optimization is, what we have to do is to develop what's known as an SEO strategy. Okay? So I'm going to take you through the steps of developing an SEO strategy. Here we go. Okay, the first step is defining your goals. And when I talk about defining business goals, that's quite high end. You have to think about the overall direction of the business. Why is that important to SEO? Well, it can be really, really important. Let's have a look at some of the goals to unravel this. So first of all, you might want to generate leads. Remember I talked about what leads were? Getting the phone to ring, getting email inquiries to come through. So Google can send you new leads, all right? But don't get too bogged down in Google at the moment. Just think about the business. Even forget about Google, you know, because you might just want to grow sales. That's just one of your goals for the next year. Or you may want to find skilled staff. You know, you may not have a particular staff member that you have on your team and you want to go and find them. You may want to clear some excess stock. You may have boxes of wine. You may have some last year's sort of clothes that you want to get rid of. You may want to clear excess stock, or you potentially may just want to build your brand. So these are goals. And what I want you to do is just spend about a minute now jotting down these goals. I want you to think about, you know, okay, so if I'm trying to find skilled staff, that's definitely a goal. Am I trying to grow sales? Am I trying to sell my business? Quite often I've worked with people who want to actually sell. Are you trying to attract new members? Are you trying to, I guess, obtain more sponsorship? So grab a pen now and just think about that. And while you're writing that down, I'll talk about a little story that I did recently. So I was working with a hospital in regional Victoria, and they said, Tim, look, we're really struggling to get doctors and nurses to come and work at our hospital. And so as a result, the online strategy was all about attracting skilled staff to come and work for them. So it totally shifted the way we presented the website, and also it shifted the way we use search engines. And so we were focusing on things like, you know, nurses, employment, regional Victoria, or medical jobs, regional Victoria. You can see the difference. So once we knew that the business is trying to do something, once we knew the business goals, we were able to develop an SEO strategy around that. All right, so it's quite technical, but at the same time, just make sure that you've got that locked in. All right, next. So once we've got our business goals, now we have to decide or understand how Google works. And I've got a short 2-minute video that I prepared for you. So I'm going to load that up and you're going to get to watch that. So let's load the video. Alrighty, so that is how Google works. That was a cool little animation that I had created for the purpose of really breaking down Google. So I hope you enjoyed that. I can also email you the link so you can check it out after the webinar. All right, here we go. Screen share on. We're going back to the presentation. So now we know how Google works. What we need to understand is that we need to now move into what's known as the search engine results page. So when I talk about the search engine results page, this is what I'm getting at. So when you type in, and you can see here I've typed in Bendigo accommodation. Up the top here, this is known as sponsored links. In fact, it's known as Google AdWords. And then over on the right-hand side here down the column, this is also Google AdWords. All right, so you actually pay to be found here. You actually pay when someone clicks on the link. So if I was to click on this one, click, then the Bendigo Lane holidayparks.com.au would pay per click, would pay Google for that click. So I'll go into that later, but I just wanted you to understand that this is advertising. Now in the middle here, this is the middle section. It's known as natural or organic rankings. And so this is really the sweet spot of where you want to be found. But it's quite hard to be found there, and you need to kind of optimize your website to be found there. And this is known as Google Places or Google Maps. So it's sometimes located here, it's sometimes located here, sometimes it's not even located in the results. But if someone's using a town name, in this case, Bendigo, okay, it'll appear. So that's known as the SERP page. And now what we need to do is understand how we can get our website onto the search engine result page. So remember how I talked about keywords in that video? I talked about how the caterpillar comes down and gobbles up the website. Well, what it's gobbling up is the content. It's gobbling up keywords. So let's talk about keywords. Keywords are the words and phrases we use in search. So when we go into Google and we type something in, that's known as a keyword, okay? And so you need to think of keywords a bit like bait, all right? So if you're going fishing, it's like understanding what bait to put on the hook, because if we're going to be dropping a line into the ocean, we really want to make sure that the fish is going to bite the bait, is going to be attracted to the burley. So relate that to the online world. If you treat keywords like burley, like bait, your idea is you want to be dropping your line and making sure that you're attracting the right fish or you're attracting the right customers to your website. So you need to define your keywords. Now, how do we do that? Well, we need to ask ourselves, what do we believe are the keywords our customers, our potential sponsors, our potential members, what are they going to be typing in Google? We need to sort of jot that down. So a keyword could be 2 or 3 words or 4 words. But you should be asking your customers, you should be asking your members, hey, I'm just curious, what would you type in Google to find us? And so you need to spend some time doing some research. You need to ask your customers, you need to ask your potential, your members, hey, what are you typing in Google to find people like us? But you can also research your competitors. I don't know if you know how to do this, so I'm going to show you how you can research your competitors. But you can also use some very powerful online tools as well. One in particular is known as the Google Keyword Planner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you both of these, and you'll see what we can do. Alrighty, so first of all, I'm going to bring across our competitor's website. So let's bring that into the forefront. And you can see here that I've searched on Mildura accommodation. Okay, so I've done a search on Mildura accommodation. And you can see here I've got some paid listings. I've got some paid listings down here. This is new. This is booking.com sort of coming through. This is when Google are now starting to list accommodation. That's pretty exciting. Here we've got the organic rankings, okay? So if we wanted to find out, say, Mildura holiday villas, if we wanted to find out, well, how come they're on the first page? You know, how did they get there? Well, we can click on that website. And if we want to find out, well, how did they actually get found? What keywords are they targeting? There's a couple of ways you can do that. Now, I'm going to show you firstly the technical way. Some of you out there might like this one. You right-hand click somewhere where there's text. And then I'm using Chrome, so some of you might be using Firefox or Internet Explorer. But what you need to be finding is view page source. So sometimes in Internet Explorer, you might have it under File, View Source. Either way, it brings up a text file. Now, for some of you out there, that is just hieroglyphics, and I understand that. But if I zoom in and if I scroll through some of the text, what I'm looking for is this: metadata equals keywords. And what we can see here are the keywords that this website is targeting. So that's pretty exciting. Now, some websites won't have this, and you're actually not meant to have your keywords in your metadata anymore. But this site has, and as a result, we were able to find it. So what we're doing is we're researching competitors here, and we're going, okay, cool. That's what this particular holiday villas, that's what they're trying to target. Now, there's an SEO tool that I use. It's known as SEOchat.com. Okay, so SEOchat.com. And when you go to that website, just scroll down here and you can see free SEO tools. Okay, when you click on that, the one that I'm going to be using in today's presentation is the Meta Tag Analyzer. The Meta Tag Analyzer. When I click on that, I can then come in here. I'll just type in this spam thing here just so I can get through the gates. And then what I want to do is I want to get the website. I'm just going to copy the link, Control-C, and I'm going to be pasting it in here. All right. Now I'm going to be showing the metadata. And what this is doing is it's almost sort of stripping out all of the hieroglyphics out of that text file and making it a lot easier for you. So here you'll see, again, I've been given those keywords. So where are they? They're over here. I'll just zoom in so you can see that. So what I'm doing here is I'm researching my competitors. So I suggest you spend a bit of time either using SEOchat.com and using the Meta Tag Analyzer, and just go and have a look at some of your competitors and try and see whether or not you can get their keywords. Now, if this is blank, okay, if that's blank, expect that, because Google doesn't actually look at the keywords anymore in the metadata. And as a result, by leaving them in here, you're only exposing yourself to your competitors. So when you're using that tool, you may not see keywords in here all the time. All right, there's a lot of other stuff there I'd love to show you, but I've got to move on and I've got to get through the material. All right, so the other one is the Google Keyword Planner. Okay, so let me bring that across. So what you have to do is you have to sign up to Google AdWords. All right, so Google AdWords is free, but I'm going to jump into Tools and I'm going to go into the Keyword Planner here. All right, so I've signed up to Google AdWords, and as a result, it gives me access to the keywords that I want to be able to, play around and get an understanding of. So here what I can do is I can search for new keywords and phrases. So I can just say Mildura accommodation, and then I can go in and I can get ideas. Again, I could play around a lot more with all the drop downs, but for the purpose of the demonstration, what this is doing right now, everybody, is going into the Google archive, and it's having a look at some ideas of what, other things I could be thinking about using, other bait, other burley. But when I wanted to, I can come in here and I can see that accommodation Mildura, the average search is 1,000 per month. Alrighty. Mildura accommodation cabins, 110, 390 for accommodation in Mildura. So what this does is it gives you some ideas on what other people are using and searching, and you may not have thought of this one and you go, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, family accommodation, cool. But there's only 20 people typing that. Either way, that might be your particular market. That might be your particular bait. That might be the fish you're trying to attract. Now over here is the cost per click. So this is going to cost, if I was to advertise, if I was looking at accommodation Mildura Vic, there's about 110 people that search per month. It's quite high to be found in the ads. It's as in it's competitive, but it's going to cost me around $2 a click. Now I'll talk more about Google AdWords later, but you can certainly monitor your spend and say, look, I only want to spend $10 a day or $100 a week. And that allows you to then, maintain your budget. But what a great tool. And what I tend to do is I just go add to plan, add to plan, and add to plan. It grabs the keywords, and then over here, you can download it as an Excel spreadsheet. All right. So that's quite cool. You can then go in, get all these words, you can download it. And then what you've got yourself is a great file to then use when you're writing copy or creating a new website. So I do spend a bit of time on keywords, and it's really important to know that if you don't define your keywords, well, you really are going to be in trouble. So ask yourself, ask your customers, look at your competitors, and use some powerful online tools like SEO Chat and the Google Keyword Planner. So once you've got your list, and you might have 50, different options that you're targeting, you really do need to refine it down. All right, you can't have 50. You have to be really selective. So you need to think about having 3 to 4 keywords per page. Remember in that demonstration in the video, when the caterpillar takes the index back to the filing cabinet. Well, there is an index on every page of your site, not your website. So you can have 5 pages on your site, which means that you've got 5 indexes. And so I'm recommending that you have 3 to 4 keywords per page. And then you need to identify the either existing pages that you want to use those keywords on, or you may need to create a brand new page specifically designed for those keywords. You need to have them front and center. I normally write them at the top of the page, so when I'm writing content, I know which words to include. And so what I want you to do now is just spend 1 minute. I know that there's some people in groups out there at the moment joining me, so just amongst yourself, just talk about what are the keywords that you're thinking of targeting. Just jot 1 or 2 down just to get those juices flowing, just to start to think about, well, what are we trying to hunt? What bait are we going to be using? Now, a keyword could be 3 or 4 words in one. So, 5-star accommodation, Horsham. That could potentially be a keyword. Or poultry auction, Benalla. That potentially could be a keyword. So think about, keywords as 2, 3, 4 words, sometimes even 6. All right, well done. So you can do that later on. You'll need to do some research, obviously, and you need to refine your keywords. All right, we're going to get fairly technical now, and we're going to be talking about what's known as on-page SEO. This is one of the techniques you need to learn about. Now, I spend quite a bit of time on this one. I believe it's the most important, and it really is what you do on your web page. All right, so it's optimizing your web page to create a better index. So remember that caterpillar, okay? It comes onto the website and eats your web pages. Well, what it's doing is it's looking for content, and you want to really include those keywords in your content and throughout other areas of your site. And so this involves some on-page techniques. At the end of the day, what we're trying to do is improve the index. We want that summary up in the Google filing cabinet to be the summary of what we want, so it gets found when someone is searching for the keywords we're hunting down. So let's actually have a look at OnPage SEO. So what I'd like you to do is either take a screenshot or quickly draw this mud map. Okay, it's quite important that you do this because you need to sort of have a bit of a design of your website. This is just a generic site, so you've got your navigation here along the middle. This could be an image or a video, but just say it's an image. This is where some content's going to be. This is kind of the header. So if you could just quickly draw this up so you've got it, because we're going to be using this right now. All right, so grab those keywords, and what I want you to do is I want you to put the keywords into the page title. Now, before you jump into it, the page title is actually there. It's at the top of the page, and in fact, not many people see it. Now, I'll just explain. I'm going to zoom down now, and let's have a little look at this Mildura Holiday Villas. If you can see up here, this is known as a tab, right? But if you can read it, it says Mildura Holiday Villas, and then behind that, it's actually got, I think it's Mildura Accommodation. So that's what I mean by the page title. It's located up in the tab. So make sure you've got some keywords. This one is Mildura Holiday Villas, Mildura Accommodation, Vic. Can you see how that little pop-up box is gone there? So just make sure you understand that. So well done. That's the first thing that you needed to do in terms of your keywords. Now we need to create what's known as an H1 tag or a heading, a header 1, and it normally goes somewhere here on the page. So I go to a lot of websites and it says about us or our products or welcome. No. You need to include your keywords in your heading. So is it Mildura Accommodation? Is it the Seymour Agricultural Show? What is it? Just make sure it's got keywords that you think people are going to be typing in Google. Now, you need to understand that keywords need to go in the content as well. So in your first sentence, I need you to include keywords, okay? So, continually use these words so the caterpillar continually eats it. You need to include keywords in your content. And I'm not sure if you know, but you can actually rename images before you upload them to your site. Or you can even do what's known as an alt tag, A-L-T tag, which means that, again, the caterpillar reads the name of the image. The caterpillar can read the alt tag. I mean, it can't see at this stage that it's a picture of some free-range chicken, It can only see the words in the text file. Excuse me. So you need to name the images with keywords. Excuse me. All right, so the keywords that I'm targeting, as in Tim Gentle, are things like digital strategy presenter or digital strategy workshops. So let's go and test that out now. So if I go in here into Google, I type in here digital strategy presenter. I do a search. You'll see here that I'm fairly well ranked. In fact, I've got a lot of the top spots. You'll see here that my speaking page, my home page, my workshop page, all of these are different indexes. Move down, here's another one, here's another one, And it's quite cool. You know, here's another one. So please understand that you can have many indexes and be ranked quite a lot of times. Now, some people might go, oh yeah, but Google remembers you and you understand, and you know, when you're searching, it just remembers what you've looked at. Well, what you can do in Google, you can open up an incognito window. It's quite cool. I do this a lot. What this does, this is Google Chrome, is I can search on digital strategy workshops. And what an incognito browser does is it doesn't have any history. So I'll just search on that now. We'll see how I'm going. Sometimes I appear here. Yep. This is another one that I do. This is the digital strategy program. And you can see here that I've been found there. I'm pretty happy about that. And when I click on that, that's another one of my websites that I use to get found in Google. So now that you know that, you can see I'm sort of practicing what I'm preaching. But let's have a quick little look at my website and how it's laid out. So up the top, I've definitely included my keywords in my page title. You'll also note, running along the set here, I've included digital strategy in my header 1 tag. I've also included keywords in my content. I've actually made them a link as well. It makes them even more powerful. So that links to further information about that. And I've even tagged over here the image, and I've renamed that image with keywords. So the caterpillar has continually eaten digital strategy workshops, and it's reading it in workshops. So you don't want to be too over the top, but at least you get the theory now. So now's the time for you to go back and adjust your content, your website. You need to be able to edit your website, or you need to be able to give a mud map to your website developer or your administrator to say, hey, can we readjust the way our website's laid out to include these keywords in these positions? All right, so we're now moving away from on-page SEO. There's certainly a lot more to it, but for the purpose of 101, they're the main things. Now, I'll have a look here at off-page, and this is what you do away from your website. The caterpillar still visits everyone else's sites, don't forget, and it eats up their site and comes across what's known as links, and those links then link back to your website. So really, off-page SEO sometimes can be referred to as backlinking. So you need to go out and get links from other websites. You know, these could be online directories, and you may even have to pay for some. You really need to get what's known as quality links. So a free directory, yeah, look, it'll get you a few votes and a few backlinks, but they need to be relevant. They need to be part of the same industry that you're part of. So sometimes you need to join memberships or associations to do that. But getting links from social media, this is still a backlink. And so updating your Facebook page and linking it back to your website, or getting a link from someone else's blog to your website, that's all good stuff. It's known as social media links or off-page SEO. It's another part of the pie in trying to get ranked. So I always go in and I participate in forums. I even get guest blogs, so I actually post in other people's blogs. And when I'm talking about a topic, I'm linking back to my website. So when the caterpillar is reading that blog and it comes across a link to timgentle.com, then that's a quality link, especially if I'm talking about the online world. Okay, the next thing you need to consider as part of your SEO strategy is social media. In fact, Google has a look at this because social media can be related to, it's almost like your online heartbeat. It's what people are saying about you. It's the contributing factor. It's what you're doing and what other people are saying about you in the social sense online. So the Google algorithm takes into consideration your social signals. It wants to know, have you had some reviews? Are you participating in forums? Are you posting in social media? What are people saying about you? What are people sort of believe that you're good at. So really what it does is it humanizes the algorithm, because all the other stuff can be quite technical. We can get through it through clever coding and through clever backlinking. But what social media does is it really takes out the calculation in one respect. It humanizes it. So you really need to ensure that you are posting in Facebook and getting shares and likes. The caterpillar will read your Facebook page, okay? The caterpillar will read other people's reviews in TripAdvisor. So please understand that social media is definitely part of your SEO strategy. So you need to go out and get reviews. I find that one of the biggest contributors to getting found in Google is getting Google reviews, TripAdvisor reviews. So make sure you spend some time in doing that. So if you've got a show coming up, you know, create a Google place for it. I'll go across that in a minute, but get some reviews. The more reviews you get, the better. So search engine optimization is a combination of on-page plus off-page plus social signals. And all that combined gives you improved rankings. Now, I believe on-page is probably 70% of what happens in terms of getting ranked, but you need to understand the other 30% is very important. All right, so I'm now going to tap in to some other subjects. I'll just quickly say hello, and I'm still here. I've certainly got a lot of material to get through. It's great to see so many people out there enjoying the content, and I'll get started now into what's known as, I think the next one we're going to go into is AdWords. Let's have a little look. Yep, bingo. All right, AdWords. So some people may be using it, some people may not. But what it is it's paid advertisement, okay? It's where you need to pay per click. It's great for a short-term strategy because you can almost be ranked overnight. So if you're trying to get real quick hits, if you're trying to close some deals in the last week of a sale, if you're trying to get ranked fast, I'd really suggest you look into Google AdWords. You can control your spending. It can be very targeted. And, you know, I actually quite like it. You can turn it off and turn it on when you need it. You just need to maybe do some courses or have someone that you trust. One of the companies that I do recommend, I've used them for many, many years, is Digital Elder. Okay, so Digital Elder are really top notch. And if you sort of want to cut through the chase, one of the ones that I'll recommend is getting in contact with Digital Elder. Mention that I sent you through, and they'll look after you. But if you want to do it on your own, there's certainly some DIY options available. All right, so now what we need to do is have a quick little look at that. So Google AdWords really gives you a better chance of a return on investment, okay? It can be very specific, and you can target specific geographical locations. You can target specific days, okay? You can target specific types of devices. So it's about getting the right message to the right person at the right time in the right place across all devices. So how does it work? Well, first of all, you need to create your ads. You need to set up a Google AdWords account, and it's free to do that. Once you've done that, then it gets verified by Google, and then suddenly it'll appear when people are searching for you. And when they click on the link, click, you then get charged for that click. That click could be 20 cents, 40 cents, $1, $5. Sometimes it can be even as high as $40 a click. Actually, sometimes more. But you can control your spend. So it's really important to note that a lot of people are clicking in that region. All right. So we're starting to trust Google AdWords again. There was a time in place that we were a bit skeptical, but now we certainly are clicking on that region. You can see the heat map there. So Google AdWords, it can be found at google.com/AdWords. And as I said, it can be very targeted. You can manage your spend. and it can be very transparent. I want to show you how transparent it can be. Check this out. This is the Digital Elder Google AdWords portal. Absolutely wild. So what I'm doing is I'm logging in behind the scenes. All right, I'm having a little look here at my Google AdWords campaign. This is for a office equipment company, but I can see how much I'm spending every month, how many impressions I'm getting. That's how many people have potentially seen my ad, how many people clicked it, how many calls did I get as a result. You know, how great are these statistics? You know, obviously this company is spending quite a lot, around the 3K mark. But what I love is that from April right through to August, we can see here that the cost per lead is decreasing because we're certainly improving our Google AdWords. In fact, we're spending less and we're getting more leads through. Absolutely love it. You know, we can have a look at the AdWords, you know, how many times things have been clicked. We can have a look at the keywords. So if we look here, I'll just zoom in. You can see here that office equipment, this is for the month of June, 108 people clicked on ads. This was targeted. It was about $3 a click, you know, and so we can really understand what keywords are working for us, and we can use that in our organic ranking. So we could use it in our content, we could use it in our advertising offline, in our promotions. We can work out what keywords are really working. There's a lot more here, but check this one out before I go on this portal. So far in the month of July, they had 18 calls. So 18 leads as a result of their advertisement. Now, their office equipment is quite expensive, but at the same time, you can actually see when the calls came through. And if you wanted to, you can even listen to the call.
Good afternoon, Epic Office Manager. This is Brendan.
Hi, Brendan. I'm just on your website at the moment.
Yes.
I'm looking at buying.
I mean, how cool is that? I'm on your website at the moment and I'm looking at buying. So this is the Digital Elder portal, and I think it's just spectacular. If you're getting really serious about Google AdWords, check this one out and you can move forward. But again, some of you, this might be over the top. I just have to make sure I accommodate for everyone in the room today. All right, now we need to move on to Google Places. Do not forget about this one. I reckon this is the hidden gem when it comes to be found online. And what you can do is you can really increase your visibility. You can be found via your Google Place. So you need to set one up. If you haven't done this, I'll quickly show you how to do that. But you need to optimize it for the same keywords. All right, so what are you targeting? You jotted that down at the start, or you need to do more research. But you can go in and populate your Google Place to be ranked for the same keywords. Please add your contact details, your phone number, your email, your street address. And you can definitely add some content, some photos, and some videos. And once you've got that, you can even go out and get reviews. So you create your place. Let me show you that. So you need to go and search. I think if you just go to google.com/mybusiness, okay, it'll take you to this page. And then from here, you can go in and say, right, am I a shop front? Am I a service area or brand? Now, I believe that the shop front is the only one that can get reviews because it has a physical location. I'm not sure if these can. I'd have to do some more research on that. But once you do that, you just click on Shopfront. I don't know, you could type the Seymour Show. Let's see if it's there. Seymour Show. I'll just do agricultural show. See if it's there. Search. The Seymour Alternative Farming. No, that's not it. Okay, so we're not listed. If we were, we can go in and claim that listing. But here, what we would want to do is we would want to add a new one. So here we would just go in and retype it, Seymour Agricultural Show. And then you would go in and spend some time populating here. Google actually calls you. So they'll call you and give you a code. You need to answer the phone and you need to enter that code in to verify that you are true and not spam. They may even send you a postcard as well. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks to arrive, that postcard. So please be patient. But once you've got yourself a Google AdWords list, you're off and racing, and it's a great way to be found in Google. I absolutely love that one, and I've been using it for years. So we're drawing to a close now. We need to really wind it up. We're 45 minutes in, and that's when I like to sort of wind up. So here, I just wanted to let you know that you can measure success. Ask your customers how they found out about you, okay? Use what's known as Google Analytics. It's free. It's a tiny piece of code that you put on your website, and it will track where people have come from. In fact, it will give you an understanding of what people are typing in Google to find you. And quite often, a lot of the reporting tools, a lot of the websites will have what's known as integrated analytics. So make sure you measure your success. SEO is very, very complicated. And you want to make sure that today's webinar, I've hopefully broken it down a little bit for you, but every day it can change and you need to make sure you measure it. So notable mentions, Google adjusts its algorithm, guys. So, don't just sit down on your, become lazy. And once you've optimized your page, you think that's it. You need to maintain and keep up with Google's algorithm. They change it all the time. So there's no real guarantee. So don't get disheartened. Just keep trying new things. Some will increase your rankings and some may not. But having a responsive website is a must. This is what's known as a mobile-friendly website, one that adjusts for the screen size. If you don't have a mobile-friendly website or a responsive website, you're going to find it very hard to be ranked. People search differently on mobiles too, so understand that you may have to target people on mobiles differently. And analytics are the key, okay? So you need to be able to measure the success. So search engine optimization, what did we talk about today? God, we got to think about all those lovely things. We talked about keyword research and how that's like burley. And once we know what burley our fish are going to be eating, we can go out and hunt them. Then we discovered how Google works. Remember that caterpillar and dragging that index up into the filing cabinet? We then optimized our web page. We went on and we inserted keywords on our page. And then we talked about backlinking or off-page links. So getting quality links back to your website. And then we talked about the importance that social media is part of the 1, 2, and 3. I then showed you some Google Places and Google AdWords. So search engine optimization is all of these topics, everybody. And I hope that I was able to break it down into manageable chunks for you. So make sure you create an action plan. I need you to identify your keywords. That's crucial. And then you may need to write some new content. You may even need to install analytics and then apply some SEO on your page. These are all probably some of the actions you're going to have to do as a result of participating in it. So after this webinar or right now, just spend a couple of minutes thinking about what you're going to do moving forward. Now, you've all been brilliant with your feedback, and I'm so happy when you do it. Some of you even emailed me. Some of you jumped onto my Facebook page. Some of you even tweeted some awesome photos, So that's what I need you to do. This is free, guys, and, I need you to understand that I want you to enjoy this, and I want you to, keep me going. And by doing some feedback, I really appreciate it. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. That's SEO 101. The next webinar is going to be on social media. How exciting, all right? So we're going to be talking about Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. So if you're into all that or have no idea where to start, I definitely want to catch you in the next webinar. So that's over and out from Tim Gentle. You can find out more about my webinars at timgentle.com. So I thank you for your time. I thank you for listening, for participating and writing down. And let's hope now you know how to improve your search engine rankings. All right, guys, I'll catch you later on. I'm going to end the broadcast.